On the Fringe with Dan, RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Today has been a funny day, if you will. And certainly not funny in a humor sense. I watched almost all of this. I mean, I made it through 3 hours and 45 minutes. I was watching it at faster speed, thank God. And I swear to God, I wanted to kill myself by that point. Now, fortunately, because days tend to work out this way for me in life. And it's funny how this was. Today was just one of those weird days. I had a weird feel, a weird vibe. Wasn't juicing quite right, if you will. And I'm watching this, and I'm just like, Lord have mercy. And there was good, bad. We'll share some of it. Kash Patel was with the House today instead of the Senate yesterday, but exactly the same situation. But my dear friend from Boston, I've referenced him numerous times. My dear friend from Boston has passed away. I just found out, like literally before starting to record, which is, usually really good stuff to do right before you start recording, start crying and shit because one of your best friends died, And it's not that I want any prayer. Prayers are to me already. Thank you, and they're definitely received with joy. And I've got prayers going to my good friend Charlie and his family. I mean, he was elderly. He's had a wonderful life. He's had a wonderful life. But it was just one of those things where I didn't think he was going yet. Like, I figured he had a little more time. And it's kind of like the old world. A lot of us, I think, feel like this is going to continue longer. And it's not. It's dying. My dear friend from Boston was very much a Bostonese guy, man. He was lefty. And he was the one I talked about, I think I mentioned him, how he came at me when Trump fired one of the financial people at the Treasury. And he was like, why the hell did he fire? Why did he fire the lady that did the thing? And I'm like, well, you don't even know her name, and you don't even know what her job was. Why are you pissed? You don't even, literally. If it was significant, you would remember these things. But it didn't. Now, hindsight, I feel a little dirty, but it is how it is. But here we are. A lot of bullshit's been told to us. A lot of stuff that we've been expected to just shovel into our mouths and that we'd keep taking it. But ultimately, at some point, we realized whatever else you got other than shoveling this shit into my mouth, I will take, because I am not taking any more of this. What else you got? And so we are probably going to see an escalation in violence. There's been a lot of talk around MK Ultra people. They have a lot of assets. A lot of assets. And yes, there are a lot of firearms that they'll have access to. Do we make firearms illegal? It's not going to matter. They'll still get access to firearms. So no, I don't think this furthers, in my opinion, the take away guns from people cause at all. That's absolutely out of sync with reality. We know protection's not necessarily going to be here, especially in the time frames. There's actually states or countries, I think Canada was one of them, certainly a state here, where they're like, just try to lock yourselves in a room if someone breaks into your house. Don't try to deal with it yourself. It's like, are you serious? So I'm supposed to just hope? Just run around and scream real loud with a whistle? That'll keep them away. I'll get you on cell phone, so when you die, I'm streaming, everyone will see it. It's kind of where we are. The way they're going after Kash Patel is comical. I wish I had more of them, frankly. There was parts of it I enjoyed tremendously, but it was just, I think I actually snippeted one part. I don't know if I'm going to play it, though. I don't think so. I think I've got it somewhere else. I'm hoping they covered it good enough. But we've got just this weird situation going on in the big picture. Big picture. I guess this is one of them right here. Yeah, this was this was kind of funny. This was just an example of literally how ridiculous things are right now. This was the Hirono chick or whatever, the chick from Hawaii. I'm sure chick is very offensive to her, so good. And I don't mean chic. I mean chick. They got a lot of chickens out there in Hawaii, too. Little chickens just run around wild everywhere. Philippines, too. It's just weird. Little chickens. Small. Small little chickens just running around everywhere. Chickens fucking everywhere, man. It was like the weirdest thing. I've only been there once. Some people are like, yeah, they got chickens everywhere. I wasn't ready for that. They're freaking everywhere. There's chickens everywhere. Delicious little chickens. They're all small. They're not even barely a meal, but I mean, nuggets got to come from something, right? I mean, anyway, here's Hirono talking stupid talk with Kash Patel. And I just want to call out, the left has a hard time knowing the difference between man and woman, right? Like, that's like confusing to them. It seems like now all of a sudden there's a distinction.
Move on to my, you've been asked some questions about changes to your hiring standard, and including college degrees and possibly the age. But, one question I had is, that you are now requiring applicants to be able to do a certain kind of pull-ups, which a lot of women cannot because of physiological differences. Are you requiring these kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring a physical program at BFTC at Quantico because FBI agents carrying guns in the field have to chase down bad guys and do really hard work. The physical fitness standards of those agents
are you requiring these kinds of pull-ups?
We are requiring everybody to pass the 1811 standards at BFTC. If you want to chase down a bad guy and put him in handcuffs, you better be able to do a pull-up.
The reason I ask is that there are concerns about whether or not being able to do these kinds of harsh pull-ups is really required of FBI agents.
Doing one pull-up is not harsh, and there are always medical exemptions to that.
Like, pull-ups are racist. I'll just say it. That's what it is. That's the answer. Right there. Just make it easy. Pull-ups are racist. Hey, just real quick. Just wanted to give a huge call out and thank you to the Germans. Thank you, Germans. Thank you for creating the German beer girl. I don't know what they call these girls. I think they have a special name. Someone's going to email it to me. It's okay. You don't have to. But Oktoberfest is coming upon us. I am actually going to be drinking some beer tonight for sure. Going to a place where I typically will have some beers. I don't know why she's wearing a pink bra underneath, but I'm enjoying. Black bra, very nice. Again, ladies, it's wonderful. No, but here's the thing. Conservative party is like moving upward in Germany right now. Whole world really is starting to get more like pendulums going conservative. Now, again, pendulum's going to go so far and then come back like it's pendulums, okay? So let's not get crazy. Let's see if we can maybe neutralize a little bit, but big time conservative party moving in the German sector. France, same experience is happening right now. England, same experience is happening right now. Hungary, already there in a big way, but they say this pendulum's going back the other way. They're just trying to steal. Italy, gone very, very conservative. We've got a number of places that aren't there yet. Spain, maybe, coming, right? Like, we've got some locations. But, again, thank you. Thanks. Really? No. Sorry. All right. Sorry. That was inappropriate. It was wrong on many levels that I enjoyed tremendously. We have President Trump. Showed up in England. She's wearing purple. He's wearing purple. I don't know. Like, that's a healing color. It's used by the Pope during Lent. Purple's the colors they wear. I know that. Like, a few things I know. Purple's close to violet, which would get into the higher chakras, by the way, too. Communications typically blue, but getting purple and then higher into the violet range, right? Indigo violet, start getting up into there. We're talking the higher communications. He's going to England, the king of everything. Many people talking about how we do maybe have something larger, like world scale, going on. And there's probably going to be one individual that's going to speak for the entire planet. That's a weird thing. I don't know. Again, there's a lot of scenarios where I can see this playing out, and it seems like we're moving in that direction to a degree. And then there's other things that seem to, I don't know. Maybe probably But yeah, obviously she would want this. Putin would want this. Trump would want this. Trump would make the most sense in the big picture. She would fight it the most. I don't know. It's just one of those things to keep in mind. Doesn't mean it's happening. It's just hopefully it doesn't. Donald Trump truthed this out shockingly. I've just learned that Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, probably heard of him, is in the final stages of approval to build low-income housing in Pacific Palisades. How unfair is that to the people that have suffered so much? Newsom allowed their houses to burn by not accepting hundreds of millions of gallons of water from Pacific Palisades. Oh, that was pretty beautiful how that just played out. Literally just started playing on its own. It's fantastic. Newsom allowed their houses to burn by not accepting hundreds of millions of gallons of water from Pacific Northwest, and now the low-income housing starts rising long before he gets permits for California citizens to rebuild, but long after the federal permits were issued. Lee Zeldin, EPA administrator, and I, as president, have done the job and produced all permits long before anybody expected that they would happen. Unfortunately, the governor of California and Mayor Karen Bass failed you. Gavin Newsom's plan to build low-income housing at a super luxury Pacific Palisades fire site is what caused the destruction of the late, great New York City Mayor John Lindsay's political career. And John Lindsay was a Republican. Trump's calling out what's actually happening in Newsom. Newsom's toastified. Pretty near situation. Now, of course, it was Spirit Air that almost hit it's 8 miles. I mean, it's almost is really a stretch, but really darn close to Air Force One was Spirit Air. Now, you know Spirit Air. You know they fight in the terminals and shit. They always got like some sort of fist brawl going on at the baggage exchange or somewhere near wherever something's happening, right? Spirit Air passengers just pummeling each other. Well, apparently they fly like they let passengers fly, apparently like the pilots as well. I don't know. This is pretty dangerous, and this air traffic controller had to, well, give them a slight little reprimand, if you will.
Air Force 1300, climbing 320.
Air Force 1, New York Center, roger.
Air Force 1, contact Boston Center, 124.52. 124.52, Air Force 1, good day. Spirit 1300, descend to flight level 330.
Descend 330, Spirit 1300.
Spirit 1300, turn 20 degrees right, vectors traffic and descent. Pay attention, Spirit 1300, turn 20 degrees right. Spirit 1300, turn 20 degrees right now. Spirit Wings 1300, turn 20 degrees right immediately.
20 degrees right, Spirit Wings 1300.
Pay attention, Delta 2951, Boston Center 134.0. Spirit 1300, traffic's off your left wing by 8 miles, 747. I'm sure you can see who it is. It's flight level 320, maintain 330. I'll keep an eye out for him. He's white and blue. Spirit 1300, Boston Center 134.0. I got to talk to you twice every time. Spirit 1300, Boston 134.0. Pay attention. Get off the iPad.
Get off the iPad. I love it. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty reasonably close. They were going to hit, if not, and I almost got to wonder what was going on there, but thank God air traffic control was doing what they were. President Trump's historic second state visit to Britain is underway. He ended up, that was actually where he was taken off from, by the way, when he almost got run into by Spirit Air. Again, very left-leaning airline. I'm not saying that anything happened because it was Trump, but, I mean, at this point, would you doubt anything? I mean, come on. You know me, I like to stay away from the conspiracy theories, but at the same time, I like to feed them at the same time. I'm like, it's just weird. It's actually joyful to be on the fence. You guys think you can't survive there. I'm telling you, it's way more fun. Hanging out on the fence, holy shit, man. You throw breadcrumbs to both sides, you're like, oh my God, this is so much fun. This is a blast. I'm loving it. You guys don't know. Yeah, President Trump, today, they arrived. Obviously, I showed how they were dressed. It's fantastic. They were in purple. Whatever. Welcome to England. And they did like, all the horse right, all the standard stuff. There were some pictures too of the way that he walked in, like Trump maybe is in charge. I mean, there's a lot of symbolism that we'll be analyzing over the next number of days, that's for sure. Passport killer bill is put forward. It's going to strip terrorist supporters of travel docs. Basically, if you talk bad stuff about the United States, if you're involved with bad stuff about the United States and you're trying to get a passport here, we're going to shoot your ass down. And that's going to be it. Your passport's going to be like, no mas bueno. And, or no wicked pissa, as my good British friend, or Boston friend would say. No wicked. He would say wicked pissa if it was actually good. He would never say like the opposite of that. Like, that's not wicked pissa. He would never do that. He would probably say that just sucks or something, but I don't know. I don't know what he'd say in a case like that. I just know wicked pissa. He had a t-shirt. It was just funny. It's how we met each other. I was in a coffee shop. He came in. I'm like, wicked pissa. What's that all about? And he explained it to me. It was cool. Anyway, 9/11. This dude crashes into the FBI fence. Just crashes in. Supposedly afterwards, this is so planned. They're going to catch his ass, I'm sure. But no, just to have fun with the story. Okay, here's the story. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to tell you a little story. Magic mirror today. Did my friends have fun at play? Like, so this dude crashes his car into an FBI fence. Nobody there. No people even at the guard check, I don't think. Like, I don't know. Dude gets out of his car. Grabs an American flag from the car. It makes that noise. Grabs the flag and then flees. And so far, at least, has gotten away. Now, there's cameras everywhere. I'm sure they know who this dude is in some way, shape, or form. He's even got a weird thing on the back of his car, but obviously, this is meant to inspire or demonstrate someone that was right-leaning, right? They're trying desperately right now, and in some cases doing a decent job, of getting MK Ultra people that are conservatives to attack. I think one of the problems is generally speaking, anyway, I don't want to get off on the weeds too much. I've been watching a lot of stuff around MK Ultra lately, and again, I've known people. It's an interesting path. That's all I can say. Very hard to understand how these people can be broken. I don't think a lot of people appreciate and understand how insanely difficult that path is for those individuals. And you break into multiple personalities, and then those personalities can be triggered, programmed, a whole. People are tripped. So a lot of these people that are talking about, just going on a small tangent, like the secret space program and stuff, a lot of this stuff is just parts of them that are, these are just separate personalities, right? Alters, they would call them, or alter egos, alter personality. They are not aware. The main personality is not aware of what the alters do. So we are, again, just be careful. Head on a swivel. Don't go out there on the street because you are a target. Worry about what's outside your door. Seriously. Don't get much further than that. Don't get as far as getting, involved in a physical sense. Keep making ripples, do your thing, but not out necessarily in the streets per se. It's just a very interesting time, and we're in a new era anyway. Out in the streets doesn't necessarily do what it used to. Like, we've got other ways to do that marketing now that's more effective, frankly. One thing I want to talk about real quick with Charlie Kirk is this guy. I mean, first off, it's his opinion, right? So, like, he could be lying. I want to always say that. But Conrad Black, whoever, this is some friend of Trump or something like that. He went to the White House. He was there when Trump found out about Charlie Kirk passing. Not just the shot, but passing. J.D. Vance came in. He was there at the time, and they were talking. Now, I'm going to say, with these couple pieces of information, there's a lot of people out there right now that are saying Charlie Kirk is not dead. I'm going to say, if he's not, one of two things has happened. A, Trump doesn't know about it. Literally, he was distraught, like everybody else. So this is above Trump. Okay. I mean, if that's the case, cool. But you're taking things to an extreme level to a degree, probably, right? If Trump did know about it, now Trump was involved in killing somebody else, a double, People are saying it was a double. It wasn't Charlie. Yeah, you killed another person. Is that okay? That killed this other person in front of others so everybody would think it was that individual. So you could take that individual and hide them and what? Talk about the Israel connection, how, Israel was threatening him, and so we have to put him on the witness protection program. Again, one of the things that bothers me is this concept that Charlie's not dead. And I see, at least in one site, and it's just, I'm really losing so much respect for this site. It's just disappointing. But I keep seeing a lot of stories that are in that line. Like this morning, I would say, of the stories that would be talking anything in that realm, 80% of them were specifically talking about how Charlie's totally not dead. And that's cool if you believe he's not. Again, I'm not trying to be, but like, you have to factor out, like, there was a witness with Trump that actually said, like, he was bummed. They were talking about it. He was not happy. This was not a good thing. So Trump is acting or doesn't know, or which is it? Because it's easy to say things, but there's actual evidence from people that maybe, it's not people that said they think or saw, because nobody is in the middle of this quite the same. Like multiple shooters is another thing I keep hearing. Okay, but it seems like only one bullet hit him, right? Didn't he get hit by one bullet? Am I missing something? If I'm wrong there, please fact check me. Hit me, let me know. I deserve it. I'm sorry if I'm wrong on this, but I thought it was just one bullet. Got hit. Hit him in the neck, we think. Saw some weird stuff on the shirt. I get all that. And the finger, pinky ring. Okay, got that. But still, there's like blood that seemed to come down also from his neck. So who knows? He was supposedly wearing a bulletproof vest also. So a lot of things could be possible there. But I believe only there was one shot. So what would a secondary gunman be for? I also keep hearing a certain very famous individual talking about how he's a patsy, and I keep seeing the word patsy thrown around. Patsy, to my understanding, again, guys, let me know if I'm wrong. At least have a discussion in the comments. Hit a thumbs up if you actually like me. Hit the thumbs down if you hate me. I don't care. That's fine. But patsy, to my understanding, is somebody that thinks they did something or will allow or fall or be blamed for something that they didn't do. A patsy. They fall. If you actually commit the crime and then get busted for it, you're not a patsy. You're a criminal. Now, maybe you were doing it for somebody. Okay, you were hired. Sure. You did the crime. You got caught. You're not a patsy. You're an assassin or a killer, whatever. Like, not to try to fight the left, right? On their little assassin. All right, whatever. But so many people call him a patsy. I was like, well, I don't know if anyone else that we saw. I mean, I've heard there's potentially two people on the roof. I don't know. I haven't actually seen those videos, but I've seen the one video of the individual and then see him jumping down, still wearing black, by the way. And then supposedly he runs off. Supposedly the gun was down the leg, but he dropped it. So I don't know. I think he jumped pretty far. So a lot of people are like, oh, he was limping. He jumped pretty far. And I was trying to pay attention to the way he walked right after he jumped, because it did kind of look a little bit like maybe he might have hurt his leg a little bit when he landed. But whatever. I don't want to try to pee on people's thing. So, point is, there's a lot of information that's coming out around Charlie Kirk. There's definitely a move, probably China and Russia could be behind it. Certainly the deep state is, to try to get us to go down a different path other than the fact that somebody assassinated Charlie Kirk. Deep state is who I believe it is. A lot of people want to blame Israel. I'm okay with the fact that the Mossad may have been behind it, but I think it was the deep state 100%. Whether that includes Netanyahu or not, but it's not Israel. I've said this 100 million times. I'm going to continue to say it 100 million times. We don't hate Chinese people. We don't hate China. We hate the CCP, right? We don't hate anything, but whatever. You guys get the point, right? We don't hate Israel. We hate Mossad. We don't hate, it's not Iran. It's the Iranian deep state. It's the deep state we have a problem with. There is, at least I hope people realize this, there is no one country that we have a problem with. It's the leadership or the deep states of that country. I know I spent a lot of time on that. Sorry. I got hit up, by the way. This free shipping's done literally tonight, Wednesday night. So today's the 17th. If you watch this video the 17th, I don't know if it's like midnight. They're in, I think, Central Time, by the way. So, if you can get it, it's free shipping. If you want to get small scale stuff, get it. Like, this is under $100. This is under $100. Under $100. Under $100. Under $100. If you're going to get a bunch of shit, you should get it because they've got the best quality products ever. Hands down, best pillows ever. Best towels ever. Best clothes, by the way. The Rev 7's incredible. All the stuff. The beach towels, 50% off. Amazing products. Free shipping is like for anything. That dies tonight. I mean, again, $100. You want to buy $100? It's easy to buy $100. So maybe some of you aren't going to sweat it, right? You got an outlet sale. They got panjamas and all sorts of cool stuff out there. Got the coffee. By the way, free shipping. Again, this is one of those things. I just think it's really good. 50% off. It's reasonably inexpensive coffee. Free shipping. You're getting 50% off. It's not bad. I drank it a bunch while I was at his symposium. Part of it was because I was going to die of freezingness. It was so damn cold in that place. The 2 times I went there, I even expected it the second time, and I still wasn't properly prepared. I should have brought a tent, a wood, one of those wood stoves that you use when you camp. That's what I should have done. Needless to say, MyPillow, they're awesome. They've just got great products. I've got a commercial I want to play. It's Mike Lindell, the guy. We're going to be doing one a month. Hopefully I haven't offended him. I actually asked him. I don't know if I'll get a response. I might have gotten a response. I don't know. I haven't looked yet. I was too busy finding out about my friend dying. So I was kind of busy. Might have gotten something. But MyPillow, free shipping, dies tonight. You're getting some cool digital coupes over $100. So where your free shipping starts, you're going to get digital coupes starting after Wednesday at midnight. But again, the best products ever. Check them out. Closeout sales on the per kale sheets. They're not going to get a better deal. $29.88, any size, any color that they got left. Any size, any color. $29.88. You got a big bed? You want some extra sheets? Dude, $29.88. Free shipping. Get it done. Get her done, right? As they would say. MyPillow.com/OTF. That's MyPillow.com/OTF. Here's Mr. Lindell talking about it.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our biggest 3-in-1 sale ever with a limited edition product, a back-in-stock special, and a closeout deal you won't find anywhere else. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings. Regular $119.98, only $29.88. Once they're gone for good. How about our My Towels? They're finally back in stock, but not for long. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And for the first time and the only time ever, get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the best offers ever. Quantities are extremely limited, so order now.
I'm really super curious about those pillows now. I've got so many freaking pillows. Like, I am so bummed that they're literally... I'm not bummed, but I personally have so many pillows. Dadgummit. I wonder if these are good. I don't know. Gusset? I don't even know what that is. Dadgummit, Mike. Dadgummit. That's all I can say, sir. Dadgummit. MyPillow.com/OTF. MyPillow.com/OTF. OTF. Gusset. I don't even know what that is. Dadgum. He kicked it up a notch. That's all I can say. All right, something I want to talk about real quick. I don't know if anyone's going to bring this up. Anyone should. Maybe it's just stupid. But can the president pardon someone convicted of treason? Simple answer, yes. Now, the other part of this answer is somebody that is in, say, the Senate, for example, can a senator be impeached? Because that was one thing that actually can't be dealt with. Like if you're, you can be given a pardon, but they can still impeach you. It's like, oh, okay. Okay. Impeach is one of the offenses that pardons don't cover when it comes to the executive branch. Outside of that, it's pretty unanimous. Now, it doesn't matter about autopin. We'll get there. That's a different story altogether. But just from the standpoint of a pardon, right? Just easy peasy. Can senators be impeached? Yes, they can. Well, they can't be impeached, but yes, they can be expelled by a 2/3 vote. So, just because, example, just throwing something out, crazy stuff, just like someone like, I don't know, Schiff. I don't know why he's popped into my head. If someone like Adam Schiff, for example, were to be investigated, say maybe even by the House, even though he's in the Senate now, to see what he did that may have been possibly illegal, possibly leaking documents, a lot of things, right? Lying while in the pulpit, just a number of different things. Could that be used in some sort of way to potentially cause him to be expelled? Would his little auto-pinned thing help him at all? No. Wouldn't be. Would it? No, he would not be able to be safe from his little pardon. The pardon that Biden / himself gave himself would not necessarily be, I mean, he could still be kicked out of the Senate. Now, again, he doesn't go to jail forever. Whatever. The dude's out of power. He can't do anything to us anymore. God knows what happens after that anyways. But, again, so let's not get lost in what's really important. Removing him? No matter who we replace him with, it can't really be worse than him. Can't be. You just have to be in there for so long to be as nasty and gnarly as him. Now, again, there's supposedly a different version of it. I get that. Like, I know. And there is. Like, some people lose weight, I think. And some, I don't know. Like, there's like, Joe Biden's definitely different. Like, the ears changed. Like, things changed. They're like, whether it was his brother or not, like, maybe. Something happened. Someone changed around 2018 or whatever it was, right? With him, anyway. New Russiagate documents show media and government collusion, I should say. Just more documents came out. Adam Schiff directly involved with this. Comer directly involved with this. I think we had, I wanted to play it. I don't know if we can. Maybe I will if we have time. But Jim Jordan, that was close. He opened today. Like, the opening was actually pretty good, and then Cash, that's the part I wanted to play. I thought I'd do it at 1.25 speed. I might be able to pull it off if I have a little time. I think it was probably 20 minutes overall-ish, or around there at 1.25, but it was pretty good, his comments, and he talked about this specifically. Again, like yesterday, we had Grassley literally putting stuff into evidence during the whole thing. Stuff's happening that we don't see. Now, again, watching this was just disgusting. I felt horrible. It really sucked a lot of life out of me. It bummed me out. I didn't even make it all the way through the end. In fact, I was like, God, Cash, you're amazing, dude. I can't take it. I don't know how you did it. He sat through that, and he fought in a couple places. I think I got a couple here with the Epstein stuff they were talking about. Here's Cash Patel talking about Alex Acosta. So the whole thing with Epstein's like, they keep trying to pin him on it. His answers are beautiful, and there's like, look, I've released everything I can. And they're like, well, you didn't obviously release something. The grand jury testimony. He's like, I did. I don't have any control over that. Grand jury testimony can't be released without legal authority. They said we can't release it. I can't do anything about that. You obviously don't get how the law works. I don't know if he says all that in this one. I think he does. But he also gets into, like, I've released everything I've released. What do you know that exists that I don't? He called 2 people out, 3 people out that I heard roughly. It's like, what do you know that's there that I don't know? And they kind of bounced away from that question. So again, there is this presumption There's a presumption that's being built for sure by the left. Kash Patel's calling it out. Again, I hope this covers it. I hope it does. We'll see. But he literally is like, I've given everything that I got. Well, there's got to be more. Our answers aren't answered. That's how we feel about it, says Kash almost, you know? So again, this is one of the interesting aspects of what's going on. There's a lot of perception of what is supposed to exist. They talk about the black book. He explains that. I mean, I don't know what's actually in this clip. He did explain it, though, and he's like, he didn't say he was wrong when in all the previous videos they showed him saying, all right, the different he was on Glenn Beck, I think was the big one they kept promoting or talking about. Good for Glenn, by the way. But he's like, yeah, and he never said he was wrong. He never said he didn't have information. Like, he agreed with what he said to a degree, but he at the same time said the proper FBI speak. Again, a lot of it for us is presumption. We get our minds made up that something's right because so-and-so said, and they connected a couple dots. And again, not saying they're wrong, just saying not everybody's right either. To insist that every conspiracy theory is right because we're conspiracy theory. No, that's irresponsible. We got to be better than that. I'm sorry, we just have to be. Have a lot of our conspiracies been right? Yes. Most of them, possibly. All of them, fuck no. Not even close. Not even close. There's a bunch of bullshit that's not even for sure right. So this idea that we're 100% right, and 100% of the Q posts haven't been proven yet. Most of them, hell yeah. But it was a psyop, we all admit that, to 2 degrees. They were doing both sides of the fence. Now, is there more coming that's likely future-proofs past? Probably. Will every bit of it be proven? I doubt it. I would be so shocked. I'll fall on that sword any day of the week. But 100% of it? No, there's just no way. They wouldn't have announced it like that. That's stupid. You would never. I would be disappointed if they, like, okay, they told you. And yet they still did it. So again, it all plays out how it plays out. All said, you know me, I rant about things sometimes. I get in trouble for it. But needless to say, Kash Patel talking about all this Epstein stuff, which, again, leads back to my rant. I don't know, I want to fire it back up again. Not a good idea.
On the Epstein case, the original sin on the Epstein case was how it was handled by Mr. Acosta when he first brought the case in 2006, 7, and 8. The original case had a very limited search warrant, had a very limited search window, had a very limited investigative window. I was not there when those search warrants and that investigation was launched. I would not have done it that way. They were limited to only 3 to 4 years of investigations from 97 to approximately 2001 and 2002 to 2005. Mr. Acosta allowed Mr. Epstein to enter into a plea agreement where he served weekend jails for trafficking minor women. He also was allowed to leave jail to go home on the weekends. Plus, he allowed a non-prosecution agreement to be signed as part of that plea deal, prohibiting future investigations from that prosecution and from that evidence, and prohibiting the collection of further material. That is the original sin. We are working with Congress to produce more than any administration ever has material on Epstein. And I welcome the challenge to tell us that we are not being as transparent as the law allows. We even went to court and asked the judges to lift those prosecutorial agreements and to lift those court order seals, and they denied us 3 times. Congress is welcome to do the same and join the fight.
Yeah, it was the other thing too. I forgot to bring that up. But yeah, they did, in fact, block everything. This was the prior administrations. This wasn't even Trump's administration. Granted, he was sort of mixed into that. But all this goes back to Obama, really, and the deals that were made at that time. And they're like trying to yell at Kash Patel for that shit. It is actually kind of comical. Here is, Swallowwell. Oh, this guy's, yeah, he kind of attacked Swallowwell like he sort of did Pencil Neck. This one's shorter, sweet, but Swallowwell, you suck. So it was, and I, again, watching this whole thing just, I lost parts of my life today, just so you guys know. And just so I could tell you it was not worth watching. I literally lost, it'd be like smoking for no benefit.
20 of those individuals have been investigated or have had adverse actions. Director, considering that you have identified these people as, quote, government gangsters, will you recuse yourself from making any investigation decisions about these individuals?
Anyone that has been terminated at the FBI has been done so
No, the
because
question
they failed
again,
to meet the muster in
Director,
their constitutional
I will
obligation.
work on the
No.
audio-visual capabilities.
I'm
of
going to
Fringe. I
borrow
don't
your
think you can hear me.
terminology and call
I'm reclaiming
bullshit
my
on your
time.
entire career in
I'm
Congress.
reclaiming my
It has
time,
been a
Director.
disgrace to the American
Director, I'm
people.
reclaiming my
You
time.
can reclaim your
Will you
time all you
recuse
want.
yourself?
Mr. Chairman, you're going to allow a witness to speak this way? Mr. Chairman, would you
You'll
give
recuse yourself, Director.
The gentleman has no time
Mr.
to be
Chairman, would you
finished.
admonish the witness not to insult members?
Gentleman has
I was impressed. Jim Jordan handled it very well. He was like, well, gentleman wants to do the gentleman thing when gentlemen do what gentlemen do. You know. Government shutdown odds go up after party leaders exchange fire. Bum, bum, bum. So a major war is actually underway, folks. Us expanding it is unacceptable. Us absorbing as much as we can without stepping back. This is, again, holding the line is something. I remember when it first started and everyone was saying hold the line, and I was totally one of them, and still am, by the way. A lot of people said, what does that mean? They get pissy about it. It was like talking about them. They didn't like that. Who's them? Deep state. Who's the deep state? Ah, fuck, man. How much time do you got? Like, we're still trying to figure it out. We have a situation right now where we've got a dark facet of the government that's trying to continue, and it's being choked. A large number of Congress is taken over by this cancer. A large number of it. Plenty of people on our side of the fence. So don't let R&D, and I don't mean research and development, I mean Republican, Democrat, don't let that affect your decision. See what they're doing, see how they're being, see what they're talking about and pushing. Are they making things worse or better? Government shutdown is something that we might see happen. I doubt it because they're trying to do a CR. I think I've got a news story about that coming up here in a moment. They're trying to do a continuing resolution, which requires a majority vote in the Senate. House is easy, but the Senate's the problem. CRs can go through the Senate as a majority vote. Otherwise, it's got to go through as I want to say 2/3, but they say 60 vote, I think, is what they say. So it's probably not 2/3 because that would be 66. I don't know. I think it's 60. Need to agree with it. UK and the US, they signed a $42 billion tech deal to boost AI partnership. Has to do, too, with the nuclear stuff. My opinion is, I don't know. I mean, it's cool that us in England are getting along and doing cool stuff, and he's back out there for whatever reason. $42 billion really isn't that much. Cheers, but that's not that much. I mean, we had, I think the Saudis were putting close to $1 trillion, or Qatar, close to $1 trillion. Like, come on, $42 billion. Please. Again, I'm not trying to be a dick to my British friends out there. I'm just more or less trying to say it's like insignificant. That's all. China warns U.S. over Russian oil threats. I'm very upset about this. They might have to retaliate. We got the thing with TikTok, too. We'll talk about that as well. But what's going on with China right now is very concerning. The way it's playing out. There's a financial thing. China's having a hard time. They're definitely getting squished by us hard. Are they willing to go kinetic because they've been pushed into a corner? Possible. Very possible. We've moved missiles to Japan, nuclear capable. We'll talk about that too. We're just supposedly there to, we're just training them on how these work. We just brought one over. Just we can show them. They're like, hey, look, they're really cool. They're really cool. You can fit them inside a thing, and they're like, hey. And they're like, no, but we're not actually going to give them nuclear weapons. That'd be silly. Which is bullshit. China knows that. We've got all sorts of submarines off their coast right now. China knows full well they couldn't start a nuclear war. They might kill us all, for sure. For sure. But they will die too. Unquestionably. There's no one wins a nuclear war. With our submarine force, with Russia's submarine force, it is borderline impossible to win a nuclear war without taking control of their military, which I don't think were able to do. Hillary was supposed to do that. So, yeah, China's pissed about the fact that everyone's saying anyone that buys stuff from Russia, you're in big trouble, which is going to mean China's going to get wrapped up in that. And China's like, fuck you, we're already getting raped by you guys. And China's eating a lot of the tariffs, by the way. Not us, China, the government, because the government makes the money. Trump knew that. Big part of our tariffs were basically governments that are sucking off the teat, if you will. It's like, all right, you're going to make us pay the price because then we won't buy your product. That's how supply and demand works. Otherwise, you eat it. Fuck you. That's what Trump's been doing. So yeah, the Army did place the Typhoon missiles in Japan. We have talked about that, but they're definitely there. And again, in the article, it talks about it. We're just teaching them what's up. We're just training people. We brought it there just to train them. Rather than flying some people over to where we have Typhoon missile systems in the United States, we flew some Typhoon systems out to Japan because we know Japan's economically hurting right now and we want to help them. That's all this is, China. That's totally not what they said, but you get the point, right? Like, it's just the ridiculousness of it, kind of. It's like, sure, we're training. No, we're training them. Now they're being trained. That's why we flew weapons systems out here. No, and why your satellites watch us unload ballistic missiles from aircraft or back aircraft into hangars so you can't see what we're doing. Zelensky's supposedly shifting the goalposts. This is part of the transition that's happening. The war is ending in the Russia-Ukraine situation. The deep state's screwed big time. This is just playing out. It's playing out as slow as it possibly can. Zelensky has changed his stance a little bit. Initially, it was that Russia was going to overrun the entire Ukraine and take it over completely. And that's what Russia wants to do. Now, they are backing away from that. Now, what's interesting about that, because Zelensky's kind of got to, because otherwise he's going to get destroyed. What's funny is you've got Europe moving forward like NATO's going to be involved in this war. NATO, are planning on having more war with Russia. Now, Poland was always one of the places where we were moving stuff into Ukraine, so it's not totally uncommon that Poland's ending up with it, and Poland's the place that keeps having attacks, allegedly. They're trying to create a spark to get us to accept further escalation. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the end is coming near. But Poland did receive another delivery of M1A2 tanks, which is very cool. 38 of them. Probably our latest and greatest. Fantastic stuff. The technology of the M1s they're phenomenal. Phenomenal. For some reason, whatever the case is, we've got a lot of European, Western nation Air Force have been lending Poland some craft so they could watch and fight drones coming in. I mean, this is what they're telling us. It seems crazy, but this is what they keep telling us. They're planning something. I don't know if NATO's planning an attack. Something weird is either A, being planned, and Russia and Trump are going to destroy it and defuse it before they have a chance to, and just all these people moving shit into Poland is going to be for no reason. Or they're somehow trying to do false flag of some kind. They're preparing. They're moving equipment. Now, 38 M1 tanks, I mean, that's a lot considering Russia, how diverse an area. And the M1's really good. Russia knows that. They're not going to lie about that. And I mean, as far as drones, I don't know what we got. Anti-drone, those things are still somewhat Drop a grenade on top of them, probably take it. But I don't know if you can drop something heavier on that. Might be able to take one of those things out. But they're tough. Bank of Canada, they're doing rate cuts. They're continuing rate cuts, for that matter. We're kind of expecting it in the Fed. We'll see. 25 basis points, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of talk that 25 is expected right now. And that's very possible. We'll see. Beijing bans Alibaba ByteDance from buying NVIDIA custom AI chips. This new chip that they were going to offer them, they're like, you can't buy those, probably because there's a backdoor, is what China's worried, which they should be. And there likely is a backdoor, frankly. NVIDIA is down a little bit today because of it, 2.61%. It's down, just one stock. By the way, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the top, and we'll get here in a second, that what the Dow Jones consists of. By the way, let's just cover it now. So Dow Jones Industrial Average stock list. NVIDIA is number one. Dow Jones only 30 stocks, 30 companies. That's all the Dow Jones is. They talk about Dow Jones. It's 30 companies, top 30 companies. NVIDIA is number one. Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, JP Morgan, Walmart, Visa, Johnson & Johnson, Home Depot, Procter & Gamble. That's your top 10. Chevron, United Group Incorporated, Coca-Cola, Cisco, Goldman Sachs, International Business Machines, American Express, Salesforce, McDonald's, Caterpillar, Walt Disney, Merck, Verizon, Boeing, Amgen, Honeywell, Nike, Sherwin-Williams, 3M, the Travelers Companies, Inc. That is your Dow Jones. So when they talk about Dow Jones went up 15 today, yeah, this is Apple went up 0.48% today. That's a crap ton of money. Revenue, they're $408 billion in revenue. Market cap is huge. It's basically $3.5 trillion. Right? So this is how it plays. Visa's up 1% today. That's a big deal. Procter & Gamble's up 1.3%. This is how the game's played. Most of us don't appreciate or get it. So under pressure from the President Trump, the Fed just came out, right? They're talking about cutting interest rates. I think they said they would or are 25 basis points. Like my mortgage guy just reached out to me. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be calling you soon. So I think they dropped the rates a little bit further, which thankfully anybody that owns property right now, refinance, if you got recently, you're in a better place than you were maybe. Oh man, silver's taking a shit today. I love it. Good stuff. Gold's taking a not nearly as big a bath as silver. Silver's down almost a full $1. That's pretty hardcore. Again, that's a weird kind of volatility. And it's, and again, a lot of this is psychological. They're trying to control things, a big drop. When the Fed dropped the rate point. So it's funny is it kind of came back, but it did a big drop because, the economy is going to make it, right? The dollar's going to survive. But the reality is it's going to cause inflation to go up. So this whole gold silver thing is a bunch of kind of horse shit, frankly. It's going to go back up in a big way. Hugely. We are, again, at the wobble. The wobble is the thing that people, that's kind of one of the things anytime a system starts to collapse, it starts to wobble first. And the wobbling gets worse, right? Like a top that's slowly starting to lose speed and start to fall because the centripetal's not strong enough anymore. It wobbles harder and harder. It starts moving around. It'll bump into something, whatever. Don't be stuck in that. If you've got a 401k or an IRA, get out of their system. That's my recommendation. This is what I believe. It's not what my good friends at Goldco necessarily believe. They help you do that. Their beliefs, they kind of hold back. Some of them agree, some of them don't. They're not going to be like, hey, you like Dan? Like, that's not their answer. Their answer is, hey, most people only do 50% of diversification. I'm going to say it's up to you. It's actual physical metals, by the way. You're going to get up to 10% free silver. Probably get a free Ronald Reagan half-ounce silver collectible coin, too. That's super cool. It's tax-free, penalty-free, and did I mention it's actually physical precious metals? I think you have some say, too, by the way. and how much of it's gold, how much of it's silver. Silver's fun from a standpoint of usability, but from a standpoint of storage, kind of sucks. Gold's actually really good. 1 ounce of gold, just an example, right? 1 ounce of gold is like what? Like, I don't know, 50 of these to 100 of these, like a bunch of these. 1 ounce of gold equals many, many, many of these. This is like $31, $32. This is $3,700, right? So what, 10? No, 100. Yeah, like 100 of these coins is one of these ish. So from that standpoint, yeah, you don't want to be carrying around like a grip of gold, but at the same time, you don't want a whole bunch of silver either. So you want to mix. So that's something you can think about. You're going to get up to 10% free silver. They're going to free silver from the face value. So again, go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Get out of that stupid system. Go to drslikesgold.com, fill out the 4 data points, make the call. You're going to save yourself your wealth. And again, precious metals are all about buying power. You're going to save your buying power. I've explained it a bunch. We'll explain it more in the future. Keep listening. drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Get out of that system before they get out of you. And they certainly will, unquestionably. Rand Paul gets to a little bit of a testy exchange with this Susan Monterez chick that's getting fired. It was kind of fun. I don't necessarily want to give Rand Paul any points at this moment in time, but he managed to grab a couple today. Not that he gives a shit what I think, but he's been a bit of a douche lately. Whatever. The man's scoring some points in my mind right now, so I'm just admitting that, just, to be above board with everybody. Not necessarily how you should feel. It's up to you. You might love him. You might hate him. I don't know. I don't really care. Right here, Senator Rand Paul talking to this chick about the CDC and why she got fired. And
Does the COVID vaccine reduce the rate of death for children under 18?
It can.
Once again, it can. That's a ridiculous answer. No, it doesn't, and there is no statistical evidence that it does reduce the death rate. These are statistics. We've looked at it. When they approved it, they had this discussion at the vaccine committee that we've been talking about. During the discussion, they acknowledged that there was no proof of reduction in hospitalization or in death. So what they did is they said, what can we use to try to make people take this vaccine? They came up with this. They said that if we give you a COVID vaccine, you make antibodies. So really the whole recommendation for having a COVID vaccine from 6 months up is not based on hospitalization data, not based on deaths. It's based on whether you make antibodies or not. And what people fail to see from this is I can inject you with a foreign protein every week and measure your antibodies. You'll make antibodies every time. It just means immunology work has nothing to do with whether you should get a vaccine every week. So when we're discussing the science here, we have to discuss what is the science in favor of giving a vaccine to a 6-month-old and what are the benefits from that. And there is no benefit of hospitalization or death. And then what would the risks of the vaccine be? We have large population studies of the risks of the vaccine in younger people. And it turns out that you don't see this as much if you look at the general population, but once you start isolating in by age group, which you have to do in COVID because there's such a disparity among age group, you find that there is a risk of myocarditis, a significant event. It's somewhere between 6 and 8 in 10,000. But that's much greater than the risk of hospitalization or death, which are not even measurable because they're so small. So you resisted firing people who have this idea that the COVID vaccine should be at 6 months. That's what this is about. You didn't resist firing the perfect, beautiful scientists that are career people and unobjective and unbiased. You wouldn't fire the people who are saying that we have to vaccinate our kids at 6 months of age. That's who you refuse to fire.
So that assertion is not commensurate with the experience that I had with the individuals who are identified to be fired.
Did any of the people you refused to fire, did any of the people you
answer the question?
Did any of the people you refused to fire believe that we should change the vaccine schedule and no longer force 6-month-old kids to take it? Every one of them was adamant we should keep it at 6 months. Everybody's alarmed. We're going to change the childhood routine. Well, we should. There is no medical reason. What is the medical reason to give a hepatitis B vaccine to a newborn whose mom has no hepatitis?
So none of the discussion points that you just brought up were ever.
That's changing the childhood schedule.
Will you allow her to answer the question?
Regular order,
You have
regular
your
order.
time. You have your
Regular
time,
order.
Bernie. I got mine. Look, this is the debate over changing the childhood schedule. The hepatitis B vaccine on the schedule is given to newborns. What is the medical, scientific reason and proof for giving a newborn a hepatitis B vaccine if the mom is Hep B negative?
I want to go back to the assertion associated.
What is the medical reason for giving a hepatitis B vaccine to a newborn? See, everybody's like blithely going along. We can't change the childhood. You're somehow terrible if you want to change the childhood. We should be discussing what is the childhood vaccine schedule, and the burden should be on you. You want to make all the kids take this? The burden is upon you and the people you wouldn't fire to prove to us that we need to give our 6-month-old a COVID vaccine and that we need to give our 1-day-old a hepatitis B vaccine. That's what the debate ought to be about, not whether all vaccines are good or whether we live in Alice in Wonderland.
I actually agree with you. And I was open to the science. I just would not pre-commit to approving all the ACIP recommendations without the science.
Untrue.
Again, she's trying to make her point, right? And that she got shot. I mean, again, Rand Paul, you've really been bumming me out lately. But on this stuff, and Rand Paul, and I will give you all sorts of credit with Fauci. Like, I love you, man. Like, so again, you're almost like a Manchin kind of to me a little bit. Like I fought for Manchin, and he was on the left, and a lot of people hated his ass because he was on the left. You know, he had a D next to his name. You've got an R next to your name, and I feel like sometimes you're hard to defend. But you're holding up on this. I think we got another piece of something that he did here. I think. Oh, let's try again and see if there we go. There was a U.S. Senate rejects moving forward with Senator Rand Paul's plan that balances the federal budget within 5 years. Now, it's kind of a silly thing to ask for. Hopefully we can do it sooner, frankly, but 36 to 62, this is like a big frick no, and that shouldn't surprise anybody. I'm curious which Republican. I'd like to see that breakdown. Maybe we'll get that, but it might not be worth the time. It's just interesting. I wonder which 16 didn't, or which 20 didn't vote. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, they've signed a strategic mutual defense agreement. It's a big deal. This means if anything happens to Pakistan, aka by India, Saudi Arabia will get involved. There is a balancing act going on in the world right now. A lot of people are singing a different way. It's funny, and it's being sold a different way, but I actually want to try to counter that a little bit. A lot of people are very concerned about Pakistan, India, when these two could go nuclear against each other. Well, how do you balance that? Well, you make sure that you've got people that can partner with one of the countries to give them a standing. Kind of what happened with Ukraine. But Russia really did hold their own, and frankly, I think we've learned what Russia can do. But in the case of China trying to bully countries, well, we've put some missile abilities and obviously submarine in the area to put pressure on them. We've also got obviously things going on with the drug cartel, but it's much smaller in scope, I believe. But we've got this balancing act that's occurring. Russia's got their same equivalent that they're doing with us. They put their new, I forget the name of it. I don't think it's Iskander. I forget the name of their new little missile they've tested recently, but it's a middle range, nuclear capable. Pretty much the same thing as the Typhon. MIRV, hypersonic in their case. I don't think our Typhon is. Our Typhon's actually a very slow cruise missile type design, but very, very nap of the earth, very low altitude, very hard to see. Radars can kind of see things really low, but when they get super, super low, they get lost in the clutter. There's just a lot of noise and background stuff and reflections on the ground. And so it's really hard to find stuff when it's super low. Now, oceans, depending on weather, waves maybe a few feet high. Swells can be, 10, 15. In storms, it can be much larger. So that altitude that you can fly without possibly hitting the water is questionable. And I don't know. I assume we're always higher than the water by a degree, but there's challenges, obviously, with all of this. So balance, I guess, back to my point. I feel like I should be doing healthy home. Balance, remember, on the wrist? Anyway, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, this is a big deal, man. Things are, we are all being kept in check right now. Everybody is being kept in check right now. We're not allowed to just go willy-nilly doing whatever the hell we want to do. We'll get attacked. Russia can't do whatever the hell they want to do. They'll get attacked. China can't do whatever the hell they want to do. They'll get attacked. India, I guess, even sort of being brought to the table. Nobody can. We're all being put in check. It's pretty cool. Apparently Zelensky, again, ready. I think I talked about this. He said he's ready to meet with Russia President Vladimir Putin alone or together with U.S. President Donald Trump. He doesn't, the only thing he says he's bitchy about right now is he doesn't want to go to Moscow to meet him. And I mean, I for sure wouldn't if I was him. That's a horrible idea. And if I was Putin, there's no way in hell I'd go to Ukraine. Not a chance in Hades. You got to go to a country that's actually neutral with both of you, that's not going to automatically arrest you. This is their fear, is being arrested, right? You got the UN and you've got the ICC that I think probably wants to arrest Putin in both cases. So he's like, fuck you, I'm not going to show up at one of your countries. That ain't happen. Ben and Jerry's, they broke my heart a while back, and I switched to Haagen-Dazs because it's not the same by any stretch. But not disappointing. It was a change. It was just different, and it was a lovely difference. Lovely difference. Haagen-Dazs, they're probably horrible too. I think they're German, but they seem like they're, getting more conservative. But Ben and Jerry's, they went way crazy liberal, and I literally stopped eating their ice cream, which is a shame because it's some delicious ice cream. Oh, so good. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I've just literally, every once in a while you do something that you get a puff or pass, and you just end up, lost in a pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and some would call it bliss. Feels like heaven to me. I don't know. If God didn't have anything to do with that ice cream, I don't know what happens. But yeah, lefty people, they ruin it. They suck. And that's what they did. Well, apparently one of their co-founders, Jerry, the Jerry of the Ben and Jerry's, he's melting away. It's kind of a fun little play there. But yeah, Jerry Greenfield is his whole name. Co-founded 47 years ago. Wow. They're moving on, though. He's moving on. He didn't like the fact that they basically, the owners of their company, this is how that works, too. By the way, you own a company, and then you get into the stock thing because they'll talk you into, you could make more money. You could be more rich. And you get like that. And you find that, now all of a sudden it's not my company anymore. So they kicked his ass out. I don't know how that worked, but he's gone. Which is just, he wrote some crazy long shit. It's not worth it, in my opinion. Dude, come on. It's an ice cream company. TikTok is going to be controlled by Oracle, they're saying. Silver Lake and Andreessen. The arrangement, which was discussed by U.S. and Chinese negotiators in Madrid this week, would create a new U.S. entity to operate the app, with U.S. investors holding a roughly 80% stake and Chinese shareholders owning the rest. This new company would also have an American-dominated board with one member, probably Chinese, designated by the U.S. government. Existing users in the U.S. would be asked to shift to a new app, which TikTok is built already and is testing it right now. It's probably a small change, this new algorithm, I guess. More importantly, TikTok engineers will recreate a set of content recommendation algorithms for the app using technology licensed from TikTok's parent, ByteDance, although even the smallest deviation from the parent algo would likely doom the U.S.-based app to failure, as that particular highly addictive secret sauce is why the app is so popular. Now, I wholeheartedly disagree with the last sentence there. I think, Tyler, if you wrote that, I'm 100% disagree with you on that. I love you otherwise. But you are incorrect 100% all over the place. Secret sauce for sure, but the addictiveness is all over the place when it comes to all these social media applications. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, like all of them. And YouTube, they're all the same. And you do it too, by the way. Like I've seen plenty. I think you have well, maybe it's not you, but at least Zero Hedge. You guys have a lot of places where your premium ads and you'll put like a little hottie picture. Like it's always too. You do it on purpose. A hottie. Boobs showing something. Like not naked, but like, you know. And so they do it because it works psychologically. So it's not their secret sauce. Get the fuck out of here. They're all doing that. You're 100% wrong on that. What they are doing is they're stealing people's information and steering conversations that are going more negative towards the U.S. That's what's happening. It's not their secret fucking sauce. You're wrong. I'm not trying to be a dick, but you're so fucking wrong on this. It's just unfortunate. Again, good guy. Love this guy, but fucking way off, dude. Not even remotely close. Oh, they took down something that initially I had up. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, well. I bet it was really good. Yeah, the end of the world probably would have been saved had that still existed. Well, yeah, guess that's not going to happen. How flexible are you? Can you grab your ankles? And if you can, you can kiss your own ass goodbye. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, people. Come on. I just thought it was funny. I went on a run with the, I don't know what happened to this page. So, you know, sometimes you just flow. And like a hawk, I flow daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Pull up the mic, and I'll go, no? What does he say there? To the extreme, I rock a mic like a... Anyway. That's... I can't help myself, folks. It's the way I am. I have to live with myself. I say this shit to myself all day long. You guys don't even... Some would say, if you talk to yourself, you're crazy. I disagree. I think intelligent people talk to themselves. That's what I think. Talk to angels. Talking to somebody. Dadgummit. I love you guys. Hopefully you'll talk to me too. Where we go one, we friggin' go all. It's on the Fringe, baby. It's Dan Radio Style.